And we are remembering more history today, 75 years after the biggest military invasion ever, D-Day.
And today we're learning more about how one of the world's most treasured places managed to make it through the German occupation unscathed. Local 10's Nicole Perez joining us live now with much more on this today. Nicole.
We traveled to Mont Saint-Michel today, and it is one of the most magical places on earth. It was about an hour and a half away. It was very cold, it was rainy and windy, but it was oh so beautiful. And it was so important to the French that they take it back as their own from the Germans during World War II. So during the war, Mont Saint-Michel was occupied by German troops. The first German soldiers arrived on June 20th, 1940. So they were here for a few years and then they left quickly after D-Day. Since then, that was the turning point in the war. The French regained control and got their historical monument back. Now 3 million people visit this place every year. Everything about it is just stunning. The arches, the church, the views. It's so beautiful. There are so many people here at this time of the year also because of the anniversary of D-Day. After the ceremony, a lot of people told us that it was their next stop, and it was also the next stop for the veterans. Several D-Day veterans were here with the Best Defense Foundation. They brought 16 veterans over for a 10-day trip for the 75th anniversary, completely free of charge. We also have another story for you, another one of our heroes. I want you to see it. I want you to meet him, and his name is Hero.
Well, here we go again, briefing at 11 o'clock. Uh-oh, something big is happening. It was D-Day.
96-year-old George Heropoulos reading me a page in his diary from June 5th, 1944, the day before the largest amphibious assault in history, the Normandy landings.
I was the gunner. I had one mission that I got hit. I was the only guy that got hit in the bombardier. We lost the bombardier. We don't know what happened to him.
A Purple Heart recipient and decorated war veteran, George told me he was the only guy with a camera during the war, so he would snap pictures of whatever he could, and he would write his diary full of stories from his time in the service.
With my family, they knew what mission I was on, because I said this is letter number 10, but it was really mission number 10.
And when the time had come for Operation Overlord, also known as D-Day, when some 156,000 American, British, and Canadian forces landed on 5 beaches along a 50-mile stretch of the coast of France, with the Allies liberating from Nazi Germany control, George says he knew something big was coming.
D-Day, we were expecting something was going to happen, but not June 6th. That was, we didn't think it was ready. But when it came, well, we were prepared. And like I say, the weather screwed everything up.
He told me his instructions were to bomb everything.
We were told to go in, get all the railroad trains, all the tracks and airports you can hit anything that's moving.
George says the scariest part for him was the flak from the Germans.
War's deadliest ammunition that Germany had. What they do is the planes fly and they throw a wall and it knocks off, sometimes it's frag bombs, the little teeny bombs, it cuts you right in half.
He told me during his second of 30 missions, his aircraft exploded and he almost got knocked out of the turret.
I had luck I survived. I don't know how the hell I survived.
Nicknamed Hero during his time in the service because his officer said his name was too long. For George, his memories of the friends he had are still very real and very raw.
And especially these guys that never came back. But anyway.
With sadness still looming in his eyes, George, only able to get around in his wheelchair after he lost mobility in his legs due to the terribly cold conditions during the war, spends most days reminiscing on June 6, 1944, the longest day.
I can't forget it. It could have been us. But we were lucky, I guess I did, without a praying.
A picture
to show the end of the war, the happiness in those young men's faces, and a diary entry, of course, the last one George would write.
September 13th, I arrived in New York City, Pier 92. Boy, am I glad to be good old USA again. I pray to God that I'll never have to leave USA again.
Every time I hear his story, I get choked up all over again. Such a brave, brave man, a brave soldier. I did speak a little bit too soon, so it did start raining on us over here, so it is a rainy night in Cannes. But if you do ever get the chance to go, Mont Saint-Michel is a place you definitely want to see. So beautiful, such a beautiful part of our history. The French people also telling me that they hope it never becomes part of political conflict ever again. Calvin and Christy.
Oh, it's been an amazing trip. We'll see you again at 6. We'll let you go dry off for an hour or so.
And stay with Local 10 for continuing coverage of the 75th anniversary of D-Day. Nicole will have another exclusive live report coming up for us at 6 o'clock.